So something that I am asked about all the time is, should I purchase in a gated community? And well, that question really ultimately comes down to your decision. The real question is why you feel you should or should not buy in a gated community. Now, when people call me, I often have this conversation right up front so that I know which direction that I need to make sure that we stay within when we're searching for homes, because if it's a priority to you, well, I need to make sure that we're looking only in those gated communities. And so what's right for you might not be right for everybody. And so today we are going to talk about gated versus non-gated communities and why they may or may not be great for you. In Scottsdale, we have quite a few different gated communities. So if safety is one of your number one concerns, living in a gated community might really make sense. Now, that does not mean that other communities that are not gated have a lot of crime. We just don't have a lot of crime here in Scottsdale. However, if you are looking for that extra level of security and that extra level of safety, then living in a gated community might really be something that we need to focus on. But if security and safety is really a concern of yours, the best thing that I can do is tell you to make sure that you reach out to maybe the local police department, sheriff's department, ask them some of the questions that are top of mind for you. So for my clients, if that is a real big concern of theirs, one of the things that I will send to them straight away is something we call a buyer advisory. Within this document, there are multiple clickable links. One of them will take you straight to the crime statistics for whatever area it is that you're looking in. So if that is a major concern, I send that straight away so that you can take a look at that before we ever get to the exact location that we're going to hone in on for you. So when we talk about gated communities here in Scottsdale, we really have two different types of gated communities here. We have the type where you drive up and there's a keypad, you enter a code, and then the gates open and you drive in. If safety and security are really a big deal for you and that's top of your list, this might not be the ideal gated community situation for you. Why? Because oftentimes these codes are given out to vendors, landscapers, things like that for people that live behind those gates for everyday regular maintenance that are being done to the house. You've given it out to your friends, your kids have given it out to their friends to get in the gate. So in these communities that have these keypad gates, oftentimes these codes do get changed when people move. Sometimes they don't, and you just don't know. I can tell you personally that I know of a few different communities that are like this, that the HOA just randomly will change everybody's code. So it does stay secure, but those codes can get out. So really our second type of gated community here in Scottsdale is a man gate. So this is where you're going to actually drive up to a guardhouse. There is going to be somebody inside, male or female. Inside, they are going to have you either on a list or not that will allow you access or not. So these really do add this extreme level of security and safety. I can tell you that some of these gates, a lot of them actually, have times that your vendors can actually get in or not. They will say nobody in before 7 o'clock in the morning, or no one in at all on Sunday, as far as like landscapers or any workers, things like that can actually come in and do work on your house. So it just adds that additional level of security for you living behind the gate. When you live behind one of these and people come to the gate and say they even are on your list, one of the things that adds that additional level of security as well is that they are often taking down people's driver's licenses. They're taking a photo of your driver's license from your car and from your wallet. They're really doing that, taking that extra level of care to make sure that they know everybody that has come in and everybody that's leaving. So some of the things that I often talk to people about when we start talking about gated versus non-gated communities. When you are actually in a gated community here in Scottsdale, your HOA fees can range anywhere from $100 up to about $600. It's all going to depend on the level of security for each community. Like I said before, keypad versus manned guard gate. Manned guard gate is going to be more expensive. They've got to pay for that man hour. So a lot of times that money that you're paying for the HOA, it is going a lot towards the security, but it's also going towards a lot of the other amenities that people will offer within those communities, but just something to be aware of. So when you're talking about non-gated communities, the HOA fees for these can range anywhere from $0 to about $200 a month. It's a significant difference in pricing. So it is something to be aware of. It's something to take into consideration and just know before you fall in love with something. So like I said before, if safety is one of the number one things on your list, then living behind a gated community and having those additional costs could be well worth it. But it's important to know right from the get-go what it is that you're paying for. So make sure that you've got somebody on your side that can help you analyze and make sure you know exactly what it is that you're paying for all these HOA fees. So when the conversation starts about gated versus non-gated and we discuss the HOAs and things, the next thing that comes up is usually home prices. What's the real difference? Well, I can tell you that in some of our areas here in Scottsdale, when you have an entire community behind a manned guard gate, the home prices there are significantly higher than homes outside of a gated community. So it's something to be aware of. Now, in the other instance where we've got one of the keypad gates, in some of our communities here in Scottsdale, we've got a mixture of things. We've got some homes behind a manned guard gate, some homes behind a key gate, and some homes outside of a gate at all. Now, in some of those instances, if the homes have the same level of finish, the same views, and the same size, if you're behind a key gate versus non-gated, the home prices, although are going to be different, it's not that drastic. So then it comes down to, what are the HOA fees and how significant is security for you? So these are all very, very key things to look at and pay attention to and make sure you are fully aware before you walk in. So when you're looking for homes in gated versus non-gated, one of the things you have to decide is it real safety or is it perceived safety? And is the cost associated with the man gate or the key gate, is that really worth it to you? So if you have any questions about this, gated, non-gated, all the different community questions that I know people often have, please feel free, reach out, call me, email me, text me, post a comment down below. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos, which come out weekly, by the way. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.